Starting off with number 23, we have Espa's Better Things. I love this vibe of this song and its attitude. I mean, when you are feeling cranky and just annoyed at the world, this is absolutely the song to listen to. And I love that the better thing that they have to do with their time is to go on this like underwater adventure. And sometimes that's what I would want to be doing too. This song is just such a vibe. It's the ultimate anti-hero song, right? Like, is he a cyborg? Is he a evil punk mime? I don't know, but he's definitely a threat to everything, including himself. And the song is just so atmospheric, from the kind of tinkling music in the opening to the sound effects throughout, and the bridge in the middle when he's hanging from the chandelier or laughing maniacally at us. I don't know. This is such a crazy immersive video and I love it. Okay, V's Love Me Again. I love the whole Layover album, but this song, I just don't think I could have gotten through the year without it. Anytime I was feeling stressed out, this was like the song that relaxed me and calmed me down. And I love how it is just this mix of, I don't know, like bittersweet or even just kind of bitter sadness, but also calm. That's just this kind of magical combination. And this bit here, I really could just live in that little moment of music. Holland's Number Boy. His voice is so beautiful, and he's so beautiful. This video just has such gorgeous spirit. He's so iconic and vulnerable at the same time, or it's like the vulnerableness is iconic. This video, it's from really early on in the year, and it just emblazoned itself in my mind. It sounds beautiful, but it feels like not really painful, but there's just such a gorgeous edge to it. It hurts in a really good way, but also gives hope. I love it. Number 19, Jimin's Like Crazy. Oh, I love this song so much. I love the circularity, the dialogue that it opens and closes with, and the ride that he takes us on throughout it, and the way it captures that feeling of loneliness in a crowd, but also letting go in a crowd. It's super seductive and addictive. I also love the way it captures these different perspectives and the kind of unreliable narrator sense of it. And then this crazy bridge is absolutely my favorite part. I also feel like this video the song is about getting older, or sort of finding yourself or losing yourself in relation to your past self. And that's just really resonant. I know I kind of put this fairly early on in my list here, but in some ways this was definitely the song of 2023 for me. Okay, next we have Wavy's On My Youth. This song, the first time I heard it, absolutely stopped me in my tracks, and I can tell you exactly the moment where it stopped me in my tracks, which was at 1 minute and 17 seconds. Now, up until now, my consumption of Wavy had been mostly focused on 10, because 10 is 10, his dancing, his voice, but this was the moment when I sort of really realized that Wavy was more than just 10. But Kun's voice here is just so sublime. I could just wrap myself in it, and I went down a real Kun rabbit hole after listening to this. And this song has been on repeat in my house my kids asked for it and sing along. So this is a real 2023 favorite. So next we have Enhypen's Sacrifice, Eat Me Up. I could have chosen multiple songs from this album and I had to hold myself back. I chose this one because I love the way it combines their honeyed voices with the driving beat, and then the way it uses all of that to deliver lore and mythology and the gorgeous wing feathers falling off imagery, and Sunny, especially in this video, is just lovely. I really adored the whole concept and the way they execute it. And it's also really a bop too, somehow, which is a funny combination for something to be like such a kind of dark lore, black hearts beating song, and also a bop, but it definitely is. Speaking of lore, we are at number 16 with New Jeans Zero. And yes, I chose the Coke Zero promotional song as my New Jeans offering. I love this song so much. Its sound is so fun, but also the way in which it continues the Ditto lore, at least as I see it, but with this much brighter, more hopeful palette by introducing an AU framework and bringing everyone together, even if they're dead. So that's the power of Coke Zero. No, come on, how can you not just go around singing this song as I do randomly at all moments? And it also made me buy a lot of Coke Zero, so I guess it was quite effective as advertising. So Red Velvet was a group that I didn't actually get into really until this year, and only now am I just starting to go down that path, pretty much thanks to a student of mine who was really, really passionate about them and introduced me to the Red Velvet concept. That's this mix of the red cheery side and the velvet darker, more mature side, and the way in which it's more like a spectrum than like clear divide, and that their songs usually bridge these two, sometimes with a darker look and a cheerier sound, or darker lyrics and a cheerier sound, or vice versa. So when Chill Kill came out and I kind of engaged with it from that perspective, I mean, okay, first of all, it's just really, really hokey, but if you watch the MV, it's so dark, and I love the kind of dark gothic noir narrative that it tells, and that it uses as like the narrative background for this cheery, hooky, fun song. But still, even musically, it has a darker sound to it, and I feel like I have to think more about how that works. But I really, really love this song, and I love its aesthetic in this kind of indie fashion, in this gothic, creepy house, and then how they're all celebrating being arrested at the end. It's just, I love it. Yeah, it's really fun. So, Odd Eye Circles, Je ne sais quoi. This song just captures teenage me's like romantic chic French daydreams. It's such a cool sounding song, and it's perfect for having in the background while you study. Sort of like all of Layover too. I just love having this as background music to set me in the mood. And this performance video is also just like the embodiment of that cool mood. I love it. There's something about the way it's both effortful and effortless. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but I hear it in the delivery of the lines and in the way they perform the moves, that it's like they're totally on it, but it also takes no effort and thought at all. It just is, and they are that cool. So I've Holy Moly. Now, I love the whole I've Mine album. This was definitely one of my albums of the year. I just listened to it on repeat and loved every song. I mean, I will actually say that Holy Moly was one that took a little while to grow on me. I think it was somehow so unexpected, the kind of tonality of the chorus. and how different it was from off the record in its feeling. But oh, it's just so good, so hooky, so kind of fascinating that whenever it comes on, I can't help but stop everything and sing along. Number 12, One Pack's Rush Into You. Why is this so low or high, whatever, not in the top 10, you may ask? Well, the answer to that will become clear later. I love this self-made video. It's like the best self-made video I've ever seen. The song is gorgeous. It could have been a title track. Any of the songs on this album could have been a title track. Y'all know how I feel about One Pack, if I haven't made that clear already. The fact that this has lore, it has depth, it has those amazing vocals, and they created this concept and shot it themselves. And it's just a totally fascinating, wonderful video that probably deserves to be way, way higher up. But it's really hard to put these things in a list of 23, so this is a full appreciation of Rush Into You. Okay, we're at number 11 now, closing in on our top 10 with Yvonne's Trouble. And this was my introduction, since they're new to the group. And I mean, I liked the music video and I liked the song. It's really catchy. It's fun. I enjoy just listening to the song, but I think the music video with its sort of bright, cheery colors and vibe, which, you know, is pretty much to be what one would expect from a new boy group. It didn't, that sort of clouded my eyes or my ears a little bit from what the song itself had to offer fully until I saw the suit dance and the unique sound and edge of the song, and their amazing dancing really shows off so gorgeously in the suit dance. I'm gonna let it speak for itself. And now we are officially in the top 10 with Key's Good and Great. This is another song that was just the soundtrack of my year. Whenever I said anything with the word good or great, I and my children would all sing this song and then just keep going. I love his whole takedown of the corporate world with this kind of playful joy, and I channeled this in my everyday office experiences. It's just the perfect way to think about how you can relate to work and sort of simultaneously take it down and make it work for you. So I will say this is a truly aspirational video for me. Thank you, Key. Lusemble's Sensitive. So this is tied to a very special memory for me this year. I went with my best friend to the Lusemble concert on the day that this album debuted, and it was so amazing. I never thought I'd get to see Luna, or, you know, some dimension of Luna live, so that we got to see them and this perform on the day that it debuted. I mean, it was more like a fan meet because they were so brand new, but it was still absolutely delightful and a total thrill to see everyone even coming into the stadium with their light sticks. But this MV is so fun and so interesting and such an FU to the production company that shall not be named. Yeah, so I love everything about this. It's Thelma and Louise vibes, it's establishment of the lore and hailing of the fans, and it's gesturing to, I mean, in my mind at least, of bringing together of all of the members of Luna again. I hope we'll get there. Yeah, so this was absolutely fun and thrilling at the same time.
For number 8, we have Only One of's Chrome Arts. There are so many Only One of songs and videos that I could have chosen for this year. They really came out with a lot of amazing stuff this year. But Chrome Arts won because of that moment. You know the moment. I watched a million reaction videos just to see people lose their minds at that match cut to the crop tops. It was just so fun and divine. But beyond that, I really love this song. And I love the setting of the video in this kind of factory-like setting, and the way the sound of the music is both raw and controlled. And I especially love Yijong with his sort of soft blonde begin look, but set against and communicating all this edge. It's really unexpected and wonderful. So Only One of doing it again and again and again. Okay, coming in at number 7, Zero Base One's Crush. I love this video's futuristic take on fairy tale concepts, and I mean the whole album, and also the kind of gender bending dimensions to it. But funny story about this song and video, like I first listened to it and watched it and loved everything about it. Then I realized when the subs came out that they were saying gosh instead of crush, or at least that was what the subs said initially, and I was very distressed. It was really hard to take it seriously that they were saying gosh. Then I found out that gosh means thorn in Korean, and so it actually has like all of these fairy tale lore-y meanings, and I fell in love with the song all over again and more deeply, so it remains a very favorite for this year. Also Ricky, just Ricky, Ricky. Now we're getting to where I had to include more than one song by a group. I mean, Hype Boy 250 remix it's like a remix, so there are different producers involved. I mean, I know it's an official remix. It's so good and it's so different, and I already went off about this in my listening party to this whole remix album, which I adored. In that, I talked about how it felt like New Jeans had crawled inside my old synthesizer that still works, by the way, from when I was 12, and just kind of taken it apart from the inside out. But I also feel like this remix kind of took Hype Boy from the inside out. And if that makes sense, it took it apart and rebuilt it from the inside out, and it makes it something more groovy, more intimate, more like I want to live inside it. Okay, I'm going too far with all these inside metaphors and it's not making any sense anymore, but it's so atmospheric, and I feel kind of close to their voices in this, and it allows you, the way it's slowed down really allows you to spend time with and in the song. Yes, I'm still going with it, because that's just the feeling that this gives me. It is such an immersive and intoxicating remix. And again, with another repeat group, Ives Off the Record. I stopped everything the first time I heard this song and watched the MV. I think I watched the MV first. That was how I heard the song. Maybe not. Maybe I was listening to it and then had to go seek out the MV the minute it got to that sample of the Cardigans. I love the Cardigans. They're probably the origin of my girl group love. And so to have it directly invoked in a song that was already absolutely giving those vibes at the apex of the song, when I was already so kind of musically and emotionally invested, I don't know, it did things to my brain that was irreparable. and I'm still kind of stuck in it. I have such deep affection and love and nostalgia and like weird emotions tied to this. I also adore the aesthetics of the music video, and they really give me Fiona Apple Criminal vibes, which is something that absolutely shaped me as a young person. So I feel very affirmed by this video, and thus is this high in my top 10. So we're getting to the, top 4, and these almost could be interchangeably located because they're all so damn good and I love them so much. So Taemin's Guilty, I mean, it's kind of a sin that it's not number 1, and yet I love the other 3 also. And so I put it at number 4, but Taemin is king, is God, and he should be number 1. And this comeback and this song push at everything. I want to do a close analysis, like a full video just on Guilty, on the music video and the song, because there's so much going on there. But I just think Taemin makes all of us guilty and absolves all of us. And this song is going to stay with us for a long time. I don't know how he keeps doing it, how he keeps topping himself. I mean, The Rizness could also be absolutely on this top 23, but I'm letting Guilty stand in, so yeah. One Us's Unforgettable at number 3. So this is a bittersweet one. And again, like I could have picked Baila Conmigo or a number of other One Us songs from this year. Y'all know that One Us are pretty much my ultimates and have been since I discovered them. But that they came back with Unforgettable and that it's so raw and honest as they returned with this comeback post Raven's departure, and the way in which they had been honest initially in speaking about Raven's departure and what it meant for them. And obviously they couldn't really speak about it directly after that initial moment, but I feel like they spoke about it through their music. And I definitely could have put Erase Me here as well, but the music video for Unforgettable is so beautiful. This vision of how you survive through and live in an apocalyptic moment. It just, and with hope and joy and the sunlight on their faces as they're together, but with the sadness, it just encapsulates everything we've seen One Us go through and put into their music, which has only gotten stronger and more beautiful. It made me think about Rest House, which is like my favorite. It's the series where they recuperated, and again, couldn't talk directly about the fact that it was about losing a member, but it was very much the subtext. I just really respect how honest and open within the limits of the industry they've been about this process and what it's meant for them, and how it just feels like they're showing themselves as full people. All of that I see in this video, and also the song is just beautiful as well. Okay, we're on the top 2 now, and so we're just at pure joy and love. So Vivizi's Maniac. I love everything about this song. I love how hooky and catchy it is. I love its build, those kind of slidey moments. Eunha's gorgeous voice. I mean, all of their voices. Eunha's creepy 2-colored eyes, there's a word for that, look, the aesthetics, again, totally reminiscent of Fiona Apple, Criminal, or at least that era, and just these moments. I love its message and meaning, which to me seems to be about the 3 of them embracing, running away from the expectations of the world that they should be a certain way and being themselves together, but also the tensions that can come out of negotiating that. So, I mean, yeah, there's meaning in it, but it's also just so joyful and fun, and these 3 are so talented, and the aesthetics of it just also reminds me of like a Sassy magazine photo shoot, or Jane magazine or something, of them being dressed up like that with their instruments, but in the middle of the road with the car. Like, it's such a mood. It's a mood young me loved. It's a it's a mood current me loves, and it seems, even as it feels nostalgic, it also feels like deeply 2023 to me. So yeah, total love for that one. And finally, the video that started this whole channel out for me, One Pack's Must Be Nice video and song. I have already talked about how much I love this song. I mean, you can go back and watch my first experience of this song and this music video. I was so excited about the lore dimensions of it, and as I conversed with you all in the comments, I realized there was so much more going on there, and it made me go back and rewatch Chungking Express, and I have all these thoughts on the choreography that I just think there's another video on this video coming from me somehow, because I have endless things to say about it. It's beautiful, beautifully constructed, fascinating in the way it offers up just tastes of lore. Like, what a gutsy debut to not only deal with these mythological elements, but apply them to messy, very human relationships, and to just have these fascinating visuals linking these kind of classical images with grungy, modern, or retro imagery. It's so cinematic and it's so beautiful. Oh, those high notes are just gorgeous, and it's beautifully constructed and very unusual and very unexpected. And yeah, it's my number one song. I loved it. All right, so that's my top 23. I somehow made it through. What songs do you think I should have, that I somehow missed out on this year, that I should check out? What does your top 23 or your top 10 look like? I've already been catching up on some things that I missed based on other people's recommendations. Please tell me yours. Let me know what I should be watching and listening to as we head into 2024. Okay, thank you so much. If you stayed with my whole top 23, I so appreciate it. And I will see you in 2024.